question I get all the time is, how old are you? And it usually comes with a lot of passive aggressive comments. And I'm not quite sure why, but I've always been transparent about my age, which is 46. And you can Google me, it'll come up. So I'm not quite sure if it's really more about saying they like to say things about the gray hair and the age and what have you. But my whole philosophy is about, it's a celebration. Age is a celebration. That's why we have a birthday party. It's a celebration. And I just have a different philosophy, I guess. I've never been a woman that falls into that, oh, a lady never says her age, or, if someone asks you how old you are, you're offended. It's really about celebrating life, showing up as your best self, taking care of yourself, and being proud of your age. Another question that I get a lot is, do you highlight your hair? That's impossible that your hair is that color. That's a fake hair, etc., etc. And I find it to be funny because I never wanted to go gray. I think that a lot of people think that I was this, gray hair warrior and I couldn't wait to go gray and what have you. It was quite the opposite. And a lot of you know my story of the 2014, 2015, lots of infertility, lots of IVF, 5 rounds in 1 year, state to state to state, doing all of this really just strenuous experiment to my body. And I was done fighting with doctors about everything, and my hair was really going gray. I had the white stripe. This has been my white stripe since I was 21. And I just got really tired of it. And I really got tired of the beauty industry dictating to me what I would be. I would be old if I had gray hair. Oh, you're too young to go gray. Oh, it's going to look awful. Oh, you can't do it. I was so tired of trying to make something happen, and I was so out of control with, and it was so taboo. No one was talking about infertility, that I felt like the gray hair at the same time, another taboo thing to go through. No one was really supportive of it. And I felt like I was taking back my power and my control. I could go gray. I could let it go. I could let it be wild. And I almost felt like it was my inner self just saying, you know what? I just want to be free of the dye. There was no way I was going to sit into a salon chair for an hour with dye, chemicals on my head, soaking into my skin when I'm doing all this IVF. So that was another thing. Plus, I had this halo of white literally a week later. My hair did not dye. It was just so black, and then it was so white. And I really just got tired. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. Everybody knows the story. I wrote a book about it, but the silver has had so many silver linings. Like, it really pushed me to write the book. It really pushed me to get outside of my comfort zone. I really discovered so many wonderful things from going gray or silver, whatever you want to call it, white now. And I think that it really did the opposite of what people probably thought it would do with all the negative comments and feeling insecure. It is actually quite the opposite. And that's why I always say, step into your power as a woman. You really had to step into it and not listen to people kind of beat you down and tell you what they think you are. You're the one that is in control of how you feel, how you show up, how you style your hair, how you do it. And again, just because you're not gray doesn't mean anything. If you went gray and you hated it and you dyed it, who cares? It is just a hair color. I don't dye my hair. I haven't touched it since 2015, and I will never look back. Another question I get a lot is, what do you eat? And it really depends. It just changes, day to day, obviously, but I share a lot on Instagram what I eat. But I have been a vegetarian since I was in high school. Then I started eating chicken and turkey again in my mid-20s. And then I went back to being a vegetarian. And then I met my husband. And then, of course, I had to eat meat because he's Cuban and Italian and like an amateur chef, and he cooks from scratch. Just no way. I could not miss out on that. So I think it's interesting, though, because I have A negative blood. 6% of the population has this, so it's a very rare blood type. And I've been donating blood since high school. That's how I found out. And there are books about eating for your blood type, and A negative doesn't do well with meat. And I think that, that's why I really gravitate towards salads and fruits. And I'm not perfect. Yes, I will have fries that I put in the air fryer, or I eat carbs, and, I eat for how my body feels. I can look at things like desserts and know I'm going to feel terrible, and I don't eat them. I don't eat a lot of sugar. So I'm just very balanced with trying to get enough vegetables, get enough fruit, try to eat as much organic as I possibly can. But there's really no science to how I eat in my diet. There's no magic. There's no, it's really about trying to eat whole foods and to be eating the most nutritious foods I can. So coupled with what do I eat is, what is your workout routine? And I used to feel that I had to like work out like crazy in order to maintain a body or have that feeling of, oh, I'm staying in shape, I'm working out. Now I take a little bit of a different approach. As I'm aging, I'm doing more Pilates flow, I'm doing more meditation. I still do my Peloton classes because I love it. My mind gets to escape. I'm so creative when I'm on the bike. I don't know what I'm thinking about, but I come up with the best ideas when I'm on the bike. And just like, I feel like it's like your mind's free. The music's so good. I just love it. So I still do that. Of course, weight training, I think is so important for women over 40 to keep up with lifting weights, whether it's 2 pounds, whether it's 5 pounds, whatever you can do. I just think that moving your body as you age is so important. I just think that it's interesting that we're so active when we're young. Yes, we have more energy and this and that, but we like tend to, as our lives get busier or what have you, just get more and more sedentary. And I think that is really a very big problem. The more we don't work out our body, the more we don't move, the more we don't strengthen our body, what do we expect to happen? We can't expect to have amazing bodies at 70s, 80s, 90s if we're not consistently helping and working the machine. That's what it is. It's a machine. You've got to work your body to maintain yourself and to be healthy. And I'm just a very, very big advocate of working out, walking, doing whatever you can, chair exercises. You have to move your body. There is no other way around it. Classic style. That is what I tend to gravitate towards, is the classic style. High school, I'm wearing Bermudas, a jacket, and penny loafers. I was just completely preppy. It was just my style. That is what I gravitated towards. I was not trendy, could never do trends. I just couldn't do trends. It was just like all wrong. So I basically, stay within a certain kind of style, more tailored, more classic. Ralph Lauren, J. Crew, Banana Republic, Oscar de la Renta, Carolina Herrera. Those are like some of my like kind of staples. I buy all consignment. That was a challenge for me. I did 5 years ago. I wanted to have my closet completely consignment, which is what it is. I get overwhelmed when I go to a store and there's just the same 20 shirts or skirts, and I just don't feel like I can really curate my style when everybody else in the world's buying the same thing. So I shop on The RealReal, on Poshmark, on Etsy. I just really find pieces that I'm looking for, or I'll study the runways from the 90s or the early 2000s, and I'll find things that I really want, and I'll wait, and you have to be patient. So before 2020, I was going to my favorite consignment stores, and then after 2020, it was all online, which saved me so much time, and I could really curate like some really fabulous looks. And then what I do is that when I wear them, or I do brand partnerships and I wear certain things, then I reconsign them, or I sell them on Poshmark, my little closet. So I'm always cycling through, and it's so amazing because I'm giving life to these garments over and over again because they're quality, they're not falling apart, they're so well made, there's so much history in them. Like when I buy a Chanel jacket or a blazer, I'm like, oh, it's so interesting. Like, I wonder what the woman did in this jacket before me, or I wonder what party she went to, or I wonder what kind of experiences she had, or where she lived. I don't know. I go on this whole thing with my clothes, but I just find it so just fun and interesting, and that's basically how I curate my style, and I have so much fun doing it. A question that comes up a lot is, what do I think about Botox, fillers, facelifts, threading, etc.? And I think it's really up to you. I think it's about what you want to do with your body, what you feel is right, if it's going to make you feel confident. I've always had this position. I write about it in my book, Beauty Reinvented. I tell you that I did Botox starting at 30 because I had a neurofibroma, which we didn't know it was a neurofibroma until we took it out in 2018. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I did a whole video on this plastic surgery that I had because I had almost 10 doctors, plastic surgeons, ocular surgeons, etc., tell me that they would not take it out. So I was stuck with this growth that was right in here growing and deforming this orbital area here. So I had this really heavy line. And so the doctor that did agree to take it out and then changed his mind said, no, it's too dangerous, but you can do Botox. And then I started doing that to alleviate that line. I have no problem with that. If you want to do Botox, do it. I don't know why there's so much pressure with people saying you can and can't do certain things. I think that a lot of people look at me and say, oh, you have gray hair, everything has to be natural, you're natural. Right, but I mean, I don't know why gray hair would just basically plop you into a category of you couldn't do anything if you felt like you wanted to maybe get eyelid surgery. I think that's great. You know, eyelid surgery is one of the one procedures that I would, when my clients ask me, what do you think? I'm like, I think it's the most amazing surgery ever, because I would do extreme lashes, one lash at a time for 12 years. And if I had to lift the skin with tape, surgical tape, to be able to see the lash line, to be able to do my treatment, it was a topic of conversation. And I had an ocular surgeon that I would refer out to. There was a couple other ones too that I would give, cards to my clients, because this was dramatically a total game changer for these ladies. It was impairing their vision. So to me, it's like, wow, what a great treatment to be able to get, and to have not have that heaviness on your lids, not having to have issues seen with your sight. So there's a lot of really great pluses when it comes to whether it's eyelid surgery, whether it's lasers on the skin, what have you. I mean, as an esthetician, remember, I'm very much into technology and advancements and what you can do and what things you can do that are non-invasive. I'm just really, at the bottom line is that you want to feel good. You want to feel confident. You want to feel that you're looking your best, and whatever that means to you and what you want to do, I think go for it. There's no reason I should be involved in what people's decisions are. I'm only a vehicle of helping or showing you the right way to research, etc. But I just don't think that there's no issue, at least for me, when it comes to any of these amazing procedures that if you wanted to do, you could do. So my last I'm going to leave you with this. So it's been a question, but about my eyebrows. You know how I've received so much hate? Women love to go at the eyebrows, and we know why. We don't even write a comment below this video about the eyebrow thing. It's just so overplayed, ladies. So you have the group that is really angry about the fact that I allowed my brows to just to not tweeze them. I didn't remember that there was some kind of rule book that I missed that you have to tweeze your eyebrows. So I let them go just natural. I'm Greek. I gave a very personal background story on why I let them just go natural, and my Greek heritage, and turning gray and not feeling connected with the heritage, and my father has Greek thick eyebrows, etc. So when I was working with Estee Lauder a couple months ago, I had planned out my content to these two campaigns I was working on. And I thought, you know what, I'm wearing this vintage Oscar de la Renta, neutral top. I want to have a little bit more of a delicate brow, or delicate for me. And so I just, shaped them up a little bit, what have you. And then I literally got emails in my inbox about, please don't tweeze your brows. We really like them thick. We don't like them like that, whatever. So I was like, okay, wait, this is so funny. Can you imagine if I just kept turning to what people thought that I should be doing? Right? So in your life, ladies, if you want to go gray and you are listening to everyone tell you, oh, you're going to look so old. Oh my gosh, it's going to wash you out. Oh, it's going to be terrible. Oh, listen to yourself. And remember, if you go gray and you hate it, dye it back. I don't know why everybody thinks that if they go, gray, they can't go back. You can go back. You can do whatever you want to do. If you really want to do Botox and you're doing it because you want to feel better or whatever the reason, then do it. It's up to you. You're making the decision. It's really about stepping into your power as a woman, being in full bloom, really saying, you know what, this is what I want to do. I'm not going to listen to anybody else. I'm listening to myself, my intuition. This is right for me. This is not right for me, whatever it is. Because that is the moral of the story with this. At this last comment, last question, do not keep pivoting for everyone else's desires for what you're supposed to look like. You have a unique look. Celebrate that. Celebrate your age. Just really enjoy and embrace this time. Take care of yourself. Do your self-care rituals. I'm very passionate about this. I really want you to really fully love everything you do when it comes to your beauty, when you look into the mirror and you really like what you see, and it is possible. It has a lot to do with how you speak to yourself, and I go through this with my videos, so we will keep continuing this conversation, and until my next video, I'll see you later.